I want to talk about this morning. I've had enough. I've had enough. I don't know if that's your theme song. I don't know what each and every one of you have been going through, but I'm sure at one time or another you said those three words: I've had enough. I hope that I'm not talking to myself this morning, because in my lifetime I've uttered those words. I've uttered those words numerous times. Matter of fact, I can't count how many times that I have said I've had enough. That person or this situation has gotten on my last nerve. If they just mess with me today, if they say anything to me today, because I've had enough. Is there anybody in the house this morning that you feel like I do? Maybe you've had enough, and it's nobody but God that has delivered you and kept you. Nobody but the Lord that has walked with you and kept you all along the way. And even in those I've had enough moments, it was God that kept your sanity. And let me tell you something this morning. It's not that you're not a Christian. It's not that you don't pray. It's not that you don't come to Bible study. It's not that you don't pay your tithe. But sometimes things in life will cause you to say, I've had enough. I can't take no more. I remember this cartoon when I was a kid. Y'all remember Popeye? I took all I can. I can't stand no more. In other words, what he was saying is I've had enough. It was in November 1980. It was November 1980. It was billed Leonard Duran 2. June of that same year, Roberto Duran beat Sugar Ray Leonard for the welterweight title. But then it got to Montreal, Canada, for Roberto Duran to fight. And to your surprise, I was a staunch Roberto Duran fan. At that time, had 70 wins, 1 loss. They called him the hands of stone, Manos de Piedro. He would knock you out. I just loved his style. I loved the way when the bell rung, he was coming and giving you everything he had. And if you wasn't prepared, you was going to get knocked out. But it was on that night. That night, I said, it has to be a fix, because in the 8th round, what Roberto said is no mas. In other words, no more. In other words, what he was saying is, I've had enough. I mention that to say, I don't care how tough you are. I don't care how hard your fists are. There will be sometimes in your life that you will have to utter the words, I've had enough. Is there anybody here this morning? Can you testify with me this morning? Anybody in the house this morning, you've had enough? And I'm telling you, sometimes it gets that way. Sometimes your plate sometimes get piled of the burdens of life. And they'll pile more on your plate. And next thing you know, somebody done pile something else on your plate. And the next time you think you're out of this, and somebody done pile another pile on your plate. Maybe that ain't you this morning, but maybe it's somebody in here this morning. You're a caregiver for your family, and everybody keep piling stuff on your plate. You keep uttering. I've had enough. But what do you do when you've had enough? That's exactly, they don't stop praying. Don't stop praying. That's what David is trying to tell us here in this 30th number song, because what he's telling us on today is what you don't want to do is stop praying. Although when we look at the life of David, we have to understand the backdrop of Psalm number 30. All right. If you have time, go ahead.